is October 27th, 2021. It is 6:02 p.m. We have a board of about 25, 20, well, whatever, 20 something members. Is Fernie here?
Yeah.
She is? Hey, Fernie. And this is a special meeting of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, a special meeting. Urgent topic. Fernie?
Roll call.
Yeah, roll call, baby.
Sarah Clendenning,
Present?
Ben Wadsworth,
Present.
Fernanda Sanchez here, Vincent Montalvo,
Present.
Nancy Soto,
Here.
William Rodriguez Morrison, Benny Madera, Didia Delizer,
Here.
Joanna Iraeta,
She's excused. She got an excuse.
Richard Larson,
Here.
Annalie Har, Melanie Bolomo,
Here. Sorry.
Vida Marufo, Victor Asanedo.
Here. Did you here?
Got it. Victor Asanedo,
Here.
Diego Zapata,
Here.
Gil Arevalo,
Here.
Richard Ortiz,
Presente.
Steve Lucero,
Here.
Lina Ruiz, Selena Ortega,
Present.
Diana Tran. That concludes roll call.
Well,
Thank-
1 second, Fernanda. Benny just arrived in.
Okay.
At 6:04, thank you.
Hey, Benny, hey, all right, so that's roll call. We have quorum. With that, we're gonna move on to non-agenda public comments. If anybody from the public wants to say anything, just press *9 or raise your little hand. You have 2 minutes to speak about anything that's not on the agenda. So we're here.
Okay. Our first one is AJ. Please state your name. AJ, if you can please unmute yourself.
AJ.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, it's Anna Lee. I text you to say that to make me a panelist. So anyways, I was here for roll call, but I was like lowering and raising my hand. Sorry. There we go. Thank you.
Hey, Annalise. Hey. AJ.
Okay.
All right, any other public comments from the public people?
Just for the record, I think Nina's here too.
All right, oh, Lena's here. Okay, cool. Word
Okay,
up.
and then our public comment would be Ron. If you can please state your full name.
Wait, hold on. My name's Ron Lozano. I'm a board member at Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club. I grew up in Lincoln Heights and so on. Graduated from Lincoln High School.
Mhm.
And I just want to invite everybody, if you have the time, next Thursday at the San Antonio Winery with Stephen Caston Properties and the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club for a meet and greet with our business neighbors. It starts at 5:30 to 7:30. And everybody knows where the San Antonio Winery is, right? If you could RSVP or just show up, but if you, it would probably want you to RSVP, and I can give you the email, or I can email it out to somebody. It's J Lambert, JLAMBERT at LABGC.org.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you very much. All right, so, and Benny Madera and our CBOs are Benny, Zidia, and Joanna, right? Yeah, so if anybody from the public has any questions, they could talk to our CBOs. Any more public comments?
Yes, we have Jabs Prague.
Jabs.
Please state your name.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
Hi, this is Jobs from LHNC Valley. Just a recommendation, friendly recommendation to be a little bit more inclusive with the Latino community, especially the Spanish-speaking stakeholders. So hopefully next time you guys can have some of the documents translated to English. So you guys be, hopefully that's gonna make Spanish-speaking people to be interested in the neighborhood council and attend the meetings. So we have a better input from the community. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Great, Jebs, thank you. And we have the CIS in Spanish on our website too, but yeah. Any other public comments?
We have no more public comment.
All right, any board member comments? Right, no, wait, no, sorry, my bad. We'll move on to number 4, community and board announcements. Do we have any community announcements from community members? Please press *9 or raise your hand.
I don't see any in the community.
All right, no community announcements. Do we have any
Hold on, we have one hand. Jobs, Cayo.
Jabs?
Yeah, it's me again. Just to invite you guys, I'm a part of the steering committee from Alliance of River Communities, ARC. And we would like to invite you to attend our meetings every first general meeting, every first Tuesday of each month, 7:30. We're gonna have our next meeting. It's going to be on November 2nd.
Right,
I'll send you guys the email with the agenda and everything in case you guys have any items to be on the agenda. Please send it to me before hold on, the 29th, and I'll be happy to include it on our next agenda.
And Jabs, just real
Yes.
quick, can you say what ARC is?
Alliance of River Communities. Yes.
Just for the public, so everybody knows.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jabs.
We
Good.
have no more public announcements.
Okay, do we have any board member announcements?
We have Richard. Richard.
Oh, I was muted again. Thank you so much. So yes, I have one announcement. I've been, in response to recent news I've received from our community, both business and residential stakeholders, I've asked the executive committee for a reconsideration of the vote on the housing rights ad hoc. On the next agenda, according to Article 8, Section 4D, a motion for reconsideration can be made by a board member who voted on the prevailing side, which I did. And so to that effect, I have submitted a memorandum to the executive committee for reconsideration of the formation of a housing rights vote at the next regular meeting. As a representative democracy, we need to reaffirm our goals and set a course which our community supports, and that would be actions that make our community more stable, and with the council engaging in actions that our community finds worthy, not some radicals who came from back east and are looking for something to make a political event. This is not Lincoln Heights, in my opinion, and we need to look at that carefully in a reconsideration for the housing rights ad hoc. Thank you.
Right, housing rights. Any other board member announcements? I think Nancy had an announcement.
I do. So tomorrow is the 28th of October, and I just wanted to remind everyone that as Lincoln Heights residents, we get a discount code for the Heritage Square Haunted House experience. And that can be redeemed at cemeterylane.com, and the coupon code is LHNC, so Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council 10, the number 10, and you get $13 off for tomorrow. And then I have a second announcement, if that's okay. On Tuesday, November 2nd, at the Church of the Epiphany, we're gonna have our community ofrenda for those that have passed due to COVID. And so we invite everyone to come by. It starts at 7. And
Jeez, wow.
if we can, we want to collect names and photos of people from our community so we can honor them. So yeah, if anyone has information that they can relay, please get in touch.
All right, so Nancy, so it's the Church of the Epiphany and the address is on Altura Street. Is that
Yes, it's
correct? So
2808 Altura Street. And it's on Tuesday the 2nd at 7 p.m.
Tuesday, November 2nd at 7 p.m. And then you said starting tomorrow, people can start putting things on the. upper-
No, not yet. So I'm gonna set it up. We're gonna set it up this weekend. So I'm gonna, go buy some materials and objects, and yeah. So we have a few days to collect as many names and photographs as we can.
Okay, and then Nancy, if anybody if anybody wants to get a hold of you and wants to help, wants to collaborate on doing the decorations and conceptualizing it, they can reach you at, what's your email?
Nancy,
Mhm.
NANCY dot SOTO. Oh gosh, do I even know my email here?
Let me see. I got it. Yes.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Nancy, to Nancy. Oh gosh. Nancy Soto. Oh, I don't know. It's let's see. It's Nancy, NANCY dot Soto LHNC at gmail.com. And
That's
Nancy,
it.
Nancy is our business rep, and she's the chair of the outreach committee.
So
All right.
yes, please get in touch. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, babe. All right. Any other board member announcements?
We have no more board member announcements.
With that, we're going to move on to the next
Oh,
item.
hold on, we have one.
Oh.
Fernie raised her hand.
Fernanda Sanchez, Secretary Fernanda.
Yes, just a really quick announcement. I have been reached out by numerous community members and stakeholders expressing the violent displacement they are facing, and they continue to reach out to gather information on resources and what they can do. This is perfectly reflective of what is currently happening in Lincoln Heights, and I ask that you pay close attention to those that are trying to sweep this violence under the rug. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Fernie.
Thank you, Fernanda. Right.
There's no more board member comment.
No more board member comments. Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to committee announcements. I mean, we just had a meeting, but if any committee chairs have an announcement. I have an announcement. I'm the chair of the Planning and Land Use Committee. Benny is the co-chair, and we are holding our next meeting on November 3rd, and that is Wednesday. Next Wednesday, November 3rd, we're having, it's our second Planning and Land Use Committee meeting, and we will be reviewing a couple projects that are in the works in Lincoln Heights that are in the pipeline. Some of them are pretty time sensitive, and yeah, so really excited. If you want to get involved in the Planning and Land Use Committee, you can email me, sarah.lhnc, that's SARA.LHNC @protonmail.com, or you could email Benny Madera. Benny, what's your email? Benny Madera, are you on here? Let's see, well, anyway, yeah, just give me an email. So any other committee announcements?
The Sustainability Committee is getting its agenda ready to hold its first meeting. And we got the agenda worked out. We're just waiting to get an email out to the committee members to see if we can all get on a date. And then we should be having it sometime soon. It'll be announced through the website and through email.
Sustainability. And Vince, what is sustainability exactly? That's kind of a fancy word that you use.
Well, that's part of it. We don't even know what it means, right?
Yeah.
But just, basically sustainability are the projects that the city's using. They're very similar to the California Green Deal and the nationwide Green Deal on how to sustain where we at now, like reuse of water, the best uses of our natural resources. So it's a very good topic to have, but it's also a charged topic that one of our agendas item is to change the name of the sustainability committee, because it's not inclusive to everyone in our neighborhood, because not everyone can afford sustainability.
Exactly.
And that's something that we're going to be taking up in the committee.
Any other board member announcements, or I mean, committee announcements?
I don't see anybody with their hand up.
Okay, no more committee announcements. All right, so then with that, we'll move on to item number 6, new agenda items, the hot topic of the night. I'm not going to do all the talking like I usually do. I guess I'll read the motion. A, discussion and possible action on letter. Where'd it go? Discussion and possible action, 6A, discussion and possible action on letter and community impact statement, assist, to LA City Council, City Attorney Mike Fearer, and Civil Rights Racial Justice Orgs regarding Council File 200668, quote, Redistricting Process 2020 Decennial United States Census data. The Board of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, LHNC, opposes the proposed redistricting map K2.5 version 4 by the Los Angeles City Council Redistricting Commission. Our community has been cut in half by a commission that may be unfamiliar with the history of the oldest neighborhood in Los Angeles. Lincoln Heights was not only the bedroom of the Pueblo, but it was also ground zero for gerrymandering and decades-long councilmanic runs by white Republican men. There was no outreach by the current appointees, and the 39,000 historically marginalized people of Lincoln Heights kindly request a seat at the table. And now we have the community impact statement, the one for review, in Spanish and English, available on our website at lincolnheightsnc.org under agendas. We also have it right here on the screen. So, Vince?
No, I just think I don't want to say how old I am. No, I'm kidding.
Not old.
But I mean, we've gone through these before. We've seen their negative effects, specifically on communities of color. We build so much community with that community infrastructure and ties within there. And even when they get close to their government agencies, right, which sometimes they're not good either, but they do build these bonds. Then we come through these processes which rip everyone apart from that, right? And these usually will change, the amount of money that a district will have, which affects the resources that will be provided to their constituents. So it's just always been historically, bad for them. And now with the way they're cutting Lincoln Heights in half and them losing some of their tax revenue from, the big guys, like if someone was to remove it from the Dodgers or the Union Station, they're huge tax revenues that provide money for our district. So with this cut, it removes a lot of our main tax revenue, which means that District 13, it's always gonna, District 14, yeah, is always gonna be looked at as a dumping ground, right? And they've created these types of districts specifically for that.
Vince, do we have to make a motion first before we start? Is this
Yeah, we should. Let me make the motion to approve the letter as written for council file. Let me go back to the agenda. 1 second.
2006
Yeah.
something.
The motion is to approve the community impact statement for the Los Angeles City Council, City Attorney, Civil Rights, Racial Justice Orgs on council file 20-0668, Redistricting Process 2020, excuse me, of the United States Census data. The board of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council opposes the proposed redistricting map K2.5 version 4 by the Los Angeles City Council Redistricting Commission. Our community has been cut in half by the commission and may be unfamiliar with the history of the oldest neighborhoods in Los Angeles. And then I guess we can stop there because that's the rest of the actual motion itself.
Yeah. Can you, Vince, so I don't know if anybody knows what, some people may know what we're talking about regarding this cutting in half of Lincoln Heights, but I have the map image of the new final map on our website under agendas. It's lincolnheightsnc.org. And then you go to the agendas and there's a map. It says final map. And so the actual Lincoln Heights has been kind of bisected. So where CD 14 used to stop at Main Street, right? So it's got USC and stuff like that. Now CD 14 has crept up to North Broadway. Or not USC, CD 14, yeah. And so Lincoln Park is now in CD 14. I mean, it's not definitive, they still haven't voted, but Vince, can you pull up that map on there?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for the
Oh, sorry,
map.
Emily. So what it is, you know, Lincoln Heights has a super long history of being gerrymandered, and actually we like, you know, there were numerous federal lawsuits, like there was one in 1982, 1985, with gerrymandering and trying to smash the vote. With after like, yeah, there were long reigns by certain politicians. What happened? Yeah. So when you see this map, and then you see it in reference to the rest of the commission maps for other areas, many, like the majority of neighborhoods have been left whole. So they're not split by council district. And strangely enough, ours now, like right down the center, just has a big zigzag. Do you see it, Vince?
Yeah, I got it here. It was, for some reason, it was taking time to pop up.
We have kind of a lot of supporting documents on this on our website, just historical documents, and then also related to the council file.
You guys can see it now, right?
Mhm.
So it kind of goes along the borderline of like North. It's got like a weird zigzag there. It cuts North Griffin.
So now in terms of like money and stuff, like like USC is always down in CD 14 south of Maine, but now like Sacred Heart, for example, would be now considered to be CD 14. And there are many nonprofits city-based around Lincoln Park right there where El Arca is, and like, you know, all of our big things would be kind of down there. But the logic on this map that they did was based, so I'm going to preface everybody on this. I have a supporting document on the website of the appointees, but the city appointed a bunch of people to make these decisions. The mayor did, and then every council district appointed one person pretty much. And there are some free radicals. These appointees are like ex-political people, you know, they were in the mix for a while. But in their statement, basically, like in the revision of this last version with the hearings and stuff, there were 3 points, and one of the points was that Lincoln Heights should not be cut in half, should not be cut up, it should be left whole, and it should be the east side should be held together. It should be Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, and El Sereno, CD 14. And you know, the commission even made statements during the hearings like, where is Lincoln Heights? We're not hearing from Lincoln Heights. Like, what's going on? Oh, too bad. You know, we are the council, and we didn't even hear about this, the redistrict. So I'm gonna stop talking now.
Just one thing, Sarah, did we get a second? I just wanted on the record because I didn't hear.
I'll second.
Okay, Ben officially seconds the motion. So I think we can open it up to board member comment and then public comment.
All right.
1 second, let me just open up the screen for it. Okay, we have for board member comment, Richard Larson. Sarah, are we giving time on this, or is it just free open?
Let's do like 2 minutes, like a board member can comment once for 2 minutes, and then once everybody's commented, then they can maybe go, then we'll go to public, I guess, and then they can comment again, but I have to, yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
So,
Richard.
Thank you. I don't think I had my hand up first, but I'd be happy to continue. The map supplied by the city does not reflect what is stated, specifically cut in half. Some may be aware of the fact that CD1 is the smallest council district, and as such, cutting us in half may result in us being either combined with another district. one which may not reflect our present demographic and may also disenfranchise us if the community we are being joined with has different concerns. Okay, so, you know, the idea of the community impact statement is we would find resonance in other communities who would support our action. And so there's this community impact statement is problematic anyway, but, you know, we believe in at least putting the truth out there. And I just want to point out that we had some presentations from the Director of Community Outreach and Engagement from the Los Angeles City Council Redistricting Commission, Rafael Gonzalez. Rafael reached out to all the NCs in Council District 1 and presented a schedule. And I attended one of those. So those hearings and that communication and outreach was available to everyone on the council. And so not hearing the statement here would be one thing, but hearing it and that it's false and misleading, you know, is unhelpful to our community. And we believe in free speech, right? We believe in presenting accurate information and details about community impact statements that are factually correct, and knowing that they're factually incorrect and misleading our community and misrepresenting our community is problematic, in my opinion. I think we should seriously consider many of these impact statements that don't have anything to do with Lincoln Heights. They came out of thin air and are not represented by any subcommittee. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Richard. You know what? I'm going to read the community impact statement in English, and then Vince is going to read it in Spanish.
Oh, I don't know how to read in Spanish.
Oh, shut up. Hold up. Let me just get the sys up here. I have my computer's all jammed up from all this hard work. It's very, very stressful. Fernie, do you want to read the Spanish one? Or do you want to read Fernie, do you want to read the English one? Actually, I'm going to pull it up.
I can pull them up if she wants to read the Spanish one so they can read it off the screen.
Fernie can read the English one and I can read the Spanish one. No, I suck at Spanish. Let's pull them both up. The sys. We'll read it.
You want the English first?
Whatever's more convenient at hand. Let's just read them.
Okay.
So we can actually get it.
The English one is available right here. Let me bring it up. There it is.
All right. So who wants to read this?
I'll read it. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Mel.
Mel is going to read it. Mel?
Yeah, I'm going to go in a different room. I just realized the person with 3 tiny children maybe shouldn't be reading, but let me try and do this real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, got it. Historically, redistricting has affected communities of color negatively by dividing them and destroying the infrastructure of a built community that has been established for generations. The outreach done was insufficient for the community members of Lincoln Heights and other communities, as we are working class that have working class hours. There's a historical record and timeline of what redistricting does when city appointed officials do not take into consideration the working class residents. The fact that non-elected people are deciding how to cut up poor communities is more of an example of injustice to all people of the city of Los Angeles. In a democracy, we don't appoint, we elect to hold officials accountable when their decisions have negative effects on the residents of the city of Los Angeles. Our following recommendations: 1, the commission shall be made up of elected officials and not appointed. 2, redistricting maps shall be made 3 years before the time to redistrict. This is so the public and officials can get a clear understanding of the maps. There shall be, sorry guys, there shall be also a study done 3 years before the redistricting when the maps are being created to study the cause and effects of all aspects of the new maps. These studies shall be conducted with city, state, federal, and county agencies and not with third-party nonprofits. Sincerely, us.
All right. Thank you, Mel. Right, and any board members want to read the Spanish version, we'll pull that up. It's just Spanish. There it is.
I'll do it.
Yeah, okay. 3.
All right. Históricamente, la redistribución de distritos ha afectado negativamente a las comunidades de color al dividirlas y destruir la infraestructura de una comunidad construida que se ha estabilizado durante generaciones. El alcance realizado fue insuficiente para los miembros de la comunidad de Lincoln Heights y otras comunidades, ya que somos de clase trabajadora, que tenemos horas de clase trabajadora. Existe un registro histórico y un cronograma de lo que la redistribución de distritos cuando los funcionarios designados por la ciudad no toman en consideración a los residentes de la clase trabajadora. El hecho de que personas no electas estén diciendo cómo dividir a las comunidades pobres es más un ejemplo de injusticia para todas las personas de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. En una democracia no nombramos. Elegimos responsabilizar a los funcionarios cuando sus decisiones tengan efectos negativos en los residentes de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Nuestras siguientes recomendaciones. 1. La comisión estará integrada por funcionarios electos y no designados. 2. Los mapas de redistribución de distritos se realizarán 3 años antes del momento de la redistribución. Esto es para que el público y los funcionarios puedan comprender claramente los mapas. 3. También se realizará un estudio 3 años antes de la redistribución de distritos cuando se creen los mapas para estudiar la causa y los efectos de todos los aspectos de los nuevos mapas. Estos estudios se realizarán con agencias municipales, estatales, federales y del condado y no con organizaciones sin fines de lucro de terceros. Atentamente, la comunidad.
Thank you, Bernie.
Wow,
Wow. Yeah.
so good.
Our supporting documents, Vince, can you pull up the next one? It's called 1022 LHCC RC statement on final map. So they said, they put out a statement saying on October 28th, Thursday, which is tomorrow, we're going to be having our final hearing about the maps, and we've drafted the final version and we will be voting on it. But we will not be taking any community comment or input. That was stopped on October 20th. That was when that stopped. So if anybody wants to comment on this, they have to write a community impact statement and get it on file with the city clerk by tomorrow. That's why we're having this meeting. And I want to say this. So the only councils that have a community impact statement on file with this, are eligible to speak tomorrow are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, hear me now. 7 councils. Ready? Reseda NC, Encino NC, Los Feliz, Chatsworth, NC Valley Village, West Side NC, and Park Mesa Heights. How many of those NCs are on the east side? How many, what's going on? So who's going to be speaking tomorrow? That's what I have to say. All right, so any board member discussion?
We have Armida.
Hi, yes, I have a problem with the wording in the Spanish version. We are not pobres. I have many family members who are proud homeowners, and that I find offensive. Thank you. So that needs to be removed. That pobres word needs to be removed because not everybody in Lincoln Heights is a pobre. Thank you.
Thank you. Gil Arevalo.
Good evening. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the cutting in half. We're not being cut in half. We're going to be in 2 councilman districts with 99 neighborhood councils in the city of Los Angeles and only 14 districts. There are a lot of neighborhood councils that are encompassed in 2 districts or more, even probably. But yes, we are going to be represented by 2 councilmen's districts rather than the 1, but we still have the same territory. We're not cut in half.
All right. Thank you, Gil. Yeah, I mean, so there's an article, this lawsuit that happened in it was 1982, and then it kept resonating through 1985, the gerrymandering lawsuit. Vince, can you pull up the supporting document it's called Bias is Charged in Redistricting of Los Angeles. It's from 1985. Now, I'm going to scoot down to the middle. The Los Angeles suit comes as rival Hispanic candidates campaign in a special election to fill the city council seat representing a district whose population is 77% Hispanic. It is the only district with a Hispanic majority. That district was Lincoln Heights. And yeah, the incumbent Art Snyder, a Democrat, announced September 30th he would step down. The nonpartisan election will be held December 10th. Art Snyder, you know, he was our councilman for what, 18 years, 1968 to 1985. He was a white guy and he was a Republican. Well, I don't want to talk too much about Art Snyder, but that it locked it down that like nobody of color, basically at that time, let me finish the article here. Welcomed by Hispanic leaders, Hispanic political leaders hailed the suit. Virginia Reed, director of the Mexican American Political Association in Los Angeles, who noted that there were also no Hispanic members of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, said it should have been brought a long time ago. The lawsuit. If you have adequate political representation, then your issues will be dealt with, she said. There were no, the only guy was Roy Ball, who was ever the Latino, yeah, POC, but yeah. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Vince, can you run down? Okay, the city council adopted the 1982 redistricting plan based on the results of the 1980 census. The department said from 1970 to 1980, the city's Hispanic population grew to 27.5% of the total from 18.4%. The government asserted that in this century, only one Hispanic person, Edward Roy Ball, a Democratic, now in the House of Representatives, has been elected to the council. Vince, was Roy Ball like the only guy up until yeah?
Yeah, at that time he was.
Jeez.
And you know, the one thing, like Gil was making the notion, the point that it's not the community is not being cut in half, but the redistricting line is important to a tax base. That's one of the key things that this has when you're thinking about it. The community itself is not being divided, like the earth is not going to fall between it and separate us, right? Or they'll build a wall there. What happens is that we look at how the money is being dispersed. Assets are being moved into other districts, which can make another district poor. It doesn't have the same revenues coming in. And depending on how they're cut and how, you know, it goes down to like renters and homeowners, how those revenues then get changed and how they affect. So you can go back for those that want to study it and study the last 4 or 5 redistrictings. And you'll find that a lot of the similarities that we're seeing today and how they made these districts, we're probably going to see the same outcomes, because in those last 3 and 4 redistricting, the neighborhood that had the least resources always suffered the most, and they were preyed upon with like nonprofits and all these other, you know, poverty pimps that were out there that went in to basically destroy those sides of those communities. And that's what danger is in line redistricting. If they were to do it fairly and have a more open process, and even though people will say, you know, they came out and they said something at the meeting, you know, we got to remind everyone that Los Angeles is a diverse city. Not everyone speaks English. If you go on the websites, a lot of the information was not translated, and there wasn't an approach to non-speaking English people. And I think those are things that we got when we're thinking about inclusiveness and saying that the city did it fairly. That is definitely not true. So I think we got to take all those things into consideration, because this does have a huge impact on how they redistrict people, not only financially, but down the road. This won't happen for another 10 years. But I think Fernanda had her hand next, and then Diego.
Right, Birdie.
Right, yes, I just wanted to respond to the word choice that we did use. The CIS was written based on statistic data that we have, and you can look up the census. The median income for Lincoln Heights is $20,000 a year. That's well below the poverty line. And it's really important that we stay in solidarity with our community members that are living by these means. And to say that that's not representative of Lincoln Heights is absolutely denying that entire community that is statistically proven that we're well below the low-income poverty line. Thank you.
Okay, Diego?
Ernie, and we're also 77% renters, lowest home ownership rate in the city. Diego? Thank you, Fernie.
Yeah, thank you, Fernie. I'd like to echo what Fernanda said. We really need to be careful about not stigmatizing the majority of our stakeholders. I just know, and then this is sort of relevant to the topic at hand, but when you disenfranchise people and they don't feel represented, it surely doesn't bode well in local governance. Anyways, I also had a comment in regards to the redistricting. I hear a lot of arguments about Lincoln Heights being cut in half, and you know, it's superfluousness, so to speak, just in regards to it being council districts. But when a community is united, it's a lot harder to ignore that voice, the voice of that community. And that is why communities like Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Chinatown, they've all been really active in mobilizing the community to make sure that their communities remain whole in a single council district. Because when we're organizing and we're trying to rally the community, if we're split in 2 different council districts, we effectively have to talk to 2 different politicians. And that's just, if you've never organized, that's incredibly hard. It's hard enough to get one person on board. So I strongly encourage the board to really consider the impacts that redistricting will have in the voice that Lincoln Heights has. Thank you.
Well put. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you, Diego. Okay, so we have 2 hands up. Benny, you were next. Benny Madera, CBO. Benny? Vince, can you get Benny on the horn? There he is.
Yeah. Benny? He's unmuted, but I don't know if he's having technical trouble.
Oh, Benny?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So no, I was just saying that I was thinking along the same lines as Diego, in that like, do we need to be more explicit in stating what we want?
Yeah.
And that is to stay whole and to be represented by one person. Like,
right.
We can say what we don't want, but I think it's important to say what we want. And I think it's safe to say that most of us want to stay whole and want to be represented by one person. And I'm not sure if that is stated in the motion.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, but there could be a motion to amend.
Yeah, can we make a motion?
Yeah.
Sarah, I need to say something real fast. I have a small emergency that popped up right now.
Okay.
Fernanda, can I switch over the controls to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm still here. I just got to deal with it and come back.
Okay.
Where's Vincent?
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait for a second here. So this draft this is a draft, just like city council makes draft ordinances, or draft this and that. This is sort of a draft that we can
host now
tonight, so we can state our demands as well. Like, yeah. So, Fernie, are you transferred now?
Yep.
All right, so we'll take board member comments. We'll go to Armida. She's the next commentator.
Armida, you can unmute.
No, that's fine. I said what I had to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Melanie, Area 2 rep.
Hey, well, first of all, I just want to say I appreciate us getting this together so quickly, and obviously it's not going to be perfect with the short notice, but I just really, commend everyone involved in getting this together, because this is important, obviously, for the community of Lincoln Heights at large. And then, yeah, again, with like what Fernie was getting to, and Diego and Benny, Lincoln Heights staying unified as far as representation goes feels really important. And it just, looking back through all the documents that you sent, Sarah, and just seeing like the history of this and how it's been used, against the most marginalized communities. I don't have a whole lot of faith in this new process, even though they're trying to say it's more transparent and more democratic. I don't feel comfortable with, like it was mentioned, that they are appointed officials, like appointed by our city council members who have, time and time again kind of left our community in the lurch. And, Lincoln Heights doesn't have a lot, but we have our numbers and we have our unity. So I just hate to see us lose that in our representation, because like, that's what we have. We have, we got us. So I'm in full support of this statement. And I hate that it's like putting Lincoln Park in CD14. Like that just seems so intentional, and like removing an asset, probably in a way to make it more of an asset, but not to us, not to the members, community members of Lincoln Heights, but to, the new incoming members of that to which will not be named. But that's all I got.
Thank you, Melanie. That's exactly right.
I want to say something like about, the east side, it's always been the political stronghold, right? The NALA thing doesn't really apply to Lincoln Heights because we're part of the original Pueblo. Northeast of LA, we were LA. Highland Park wasn't LA, it didn't exist. Lincoln Heights, well, East Los Angeles, our neighborhood called East Los Angeles, was parceled out in 1873 by Griffin. He got the land grant or whatever. And at that time, there was nothing really around us. It was us, and Boyle Heights was forming. And then Pueblo, downtown, we were all part of the city. And then in 1912, they annexed, they let other parts be part of the city, and those communities grew. So Montecito Heights started forming. And all the communities around us. So, the East Side thing, it's like people have an issue, East Side, we're NALA, it's like, we're part of a stronghold historically of East Side, Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, and El Sereno. So that's why the city's tiptoeing around this, and to redraw the boundary lines, basically to cut our neighborhood like this. It's like they know, I don't know how educated the appointees are on the history of the gerrymandering and all that, redistricting. But Fernie, can you pull up the supplemental document? It's called appointees. So the people making the decision are elected. They're not elected, they're appointed. And so every council district appointed one person, and then the mayor appointed 3 people, I think. So you can run down this list. Wait, Fernie, can you access it?
Give me a second.
Oh, sorry. So you run down this list, and there's a lot, like Jackie Goldberg, appointed by District 4. Richard Polanco, appointed by District 1. And then Rocky D, is he on here? Appointed by CD5. He was the ex-city attorney, and now he's a lobbyist with DLA Piper, the lobbyist for Avenue 34. You have developers on this appointee list, okay? Should developers be making decisions like this on behalf of communities? I don't know. So we have some some board member comments here. So these are the appointees, the commissioners. You may recognize some of the names. If you go to the actual council file, no, it's called CF. The council file for this item that we're writing the SIS for is called CF. One second. CF all right, whatever. CF, yeah. Okay, here we go. It's called CF 20-0668. That's what we're writing this CIS on so that we're able to speak tomorrow. But there are 4 other associated council files that go with this. CF 20-668, 20-668, S1, S2, S3, and S4. S4 is the most recent one, and it's about the appointees. And it has the actual bios of the appointees and all that, and it's on the city site. Yeah, so when you see these bios, it's just like, there needs to be like a citizens commission or an oversight, there needs to be some sort of regulation, in my humble opinion. Board member comments. We have Gil Aravallo. Gil, your hand is up.
Yes, I just wanted to say that, reinforce that, yes, it would be very ideal to only have one district to answer to, or for us to answer to them. But I was just saying, objecting to the cutting in half. I thought that was kind of misleading, but it's going by 2 districts. But it definitely is better to have one representative for our whole community.
Thank you, Gil. Yeah, if you look at the boundary map of Lincoln Heights, okay, Lincoln Heights is large, and the boundaries have existed for, since the inception of East Los Angeles of 1873. So it goes down past the piggyback yards to Macy Street or First Street there, or the bottom of the piggyback yards, and up Mission. So if you look at, objectively look at a map of the redistricting, it does, we had the previous districting, which did, CD14 stopped at Maine, right? And now it goes up to Broadway in this weird way. And the commission states that those decisions were made based off of the census, off of income and the demographics. But Lincoln Heights, the census rate, only less than 40% of the people of Lincoln Heights responded to the census. We had, the POTUS was, building the wall and all that stuff. And, at the time, to use the census as the basis for doing this is just, it's like how they say that the median gross income of Lincoln Heights is $39,000. That's a lie. It's not true. Our gross income is on par with Chinatown. And so, and it almost goes back to the 1938, like the redlining maps, the Hulk redlining maps. We were blighted and we were redlined at almost the same percentage as like Chinatown, for the same reasons, for what was it called? Subversive racial elements. So stuff doesn't change.
Point of information, Madam President.
Yes.
Can you explain what redlining is?
Okay, so redlining, the housing, the federal lending, they made these advisory maps about like the status of like different neighborhoods all across the country for lending practices. And then they discriminated based on race and income. And they made detailed, basically those they made these maps of Los Angeles in particular, where they were colored. It was like red, yellow, green, right? Green means like you can lend to them. Red means like hell no. Lincoln Heights is red. Boyle Heights is red. And the original El Pueblo boundaries are red. So El Pueblo, when it was, it was like the original city of LA was a very small little square, and it radiated out of a crux about so many miles in each direction, right? Lincoln Heights is in that original boundary, and those boundaries were all redlined. When redlining, so in 1938, they made the maps, and that's what the city of LA based when they ran the freeways in the 50s and 40s. That's how they decided to choose how to like run the freeways. So they ran them through the poor, but it's not just poor, but the cultural enclaves, okay? And so when you read these maps from 1938, it's so messed up. It says like Lincoln Heights, subversive racial elements rising, Mexicans, the Mexican level is rising, like red alert, do not lend. And then for Chinatown or Dogtown area, it says like Japanese live in shacks, Mexicans, you know, do not lend. What am I saying? Yeah, it's pretty messed up. But that's also what they used for their slum clearance, like when they built Union Station and tore up Dogtown or whatever. And with Chavez,
One more
you know,
board member.
Guatemala, Palo Verde, and Bishop. So slum clearance went with those maps too. So this is kind of like part of that. It's like, is this a racial, you know, who's making the decisions? And we look at the appointees making the decisions, and it's like, well, you're not a sociologist, you're not a scholar, you know, like, what do you know? What do you know? Like, you're a developer, a real estate investor? Should you be making the decisions?
Sarah, we have one more board member comment.
All right, Victor.
I just wanted to say, I think Diana Tran's on the attendee side.
Diana.
I believe that's her, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, just promoted her to panelist.
All right, Diana, hey.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I came late and then but okay, so can I make a small comment?
For sure, make a big.
Okay. Okay, it might just be me being paranoid, but this happened right after we were like really fighting against the Avenue 34 thing last year. So I'm just like, is this some sort of retaliation against us? Like, I'm sorry. I hope that isn't too conspiracy theory, but it's just, yeah.
Well, the city to do this, I mean, just based on the history with Art Snyder, the white Republican that was born in Lincoln Heights, that booyah, he used to have his office on Broadway for, you know, from 1968 to 1985. And then he's the guy that sold Paradise Hill to a mega developer in 1968 for $75,000. And then, yeah, it was like a totally scandalous deal. You know, he's responsible for a lot of good things. He was doing a lot of public things. So he did like a park, the Mexico Park. He did Plaza de la Raza. He set that up. He did Heritage Square. He set that up. All these things. But at the same time, he was working with developers, and then he ended up getting busted for taking money, and he became a lobbyist. The whole thing was like this one person stayed in power for so long, and it stopped people of color, locals, from running. And he wasn't, you know, was this person, it was like an empire running for decades. So Lincoln Heights was the hotbed of like all this stuff with redistricting in, you know, at the time, 70s and 80s. And so for the city to actually do this visually, like on the map, if they, you know, they're asking, like, it's, I feel that it's, they're doing something here. I mean, I don't know, whatever, it's true.
Should we make a motion to amend to add those demands outlined?
Yeah, so our demands, so I mean, like CD 14, it's like, there's been a big push, I guess, with these hearings, right, that we weren't privy to, or I think nobody from Lincoln Heights actually attended. There were voices coming in from Boyle Heights, that enough that it like made the commission actually note it as one of their 3 issues. The issue was that keep Lincoln Heights whole as part of the original East Side. Like, keep us whole, El Sereno, Boyle Heights, and Lincoln Heights. Working class communities of color, immigrant communities, do not cut Lincoln Heights in half. That was the whole thing. And I was like, well, who is saying this, you know? Yeah, it's pretty great to see that other communities were pushing for us, you know? So we could do our revision demand, you know, our sort of, our list of our wants. So maybe let's start that now. So any board members have any, you know, demands they want to add to this community impact statement? Please raise your hand.
I think Benny's earlier comment of wanting to be represented by one person.
Okay. So that will be one of the demands, to be represented to be kept whole, right? To have one, be in one council district. Now we could just say that and not say exactly what council district we want, or we could say that we desire a certain council district. Now, does anybody desire a certain council district? And now the elections are happening too, but I guess it's not really up to us. It has to go with the size already predetermined with the maps. But I would have to say that I do desire to be included with, CD14. So with that, Fernie, can you take over?
Yes. Do we want to, is there a second to the motion to add these amendments?
Second, Richard Ortiz.
Great, thank you. We'll go for a vote now. This is to approve the CIS statement with the amendment of our demand to be represented as a whole.
Well, we have to take the public comments too.
Okay.
So let's go to public comments right now. We're going to go to public comments. So I have two attendees with their hands up. We have, let's go to FBI Goats.
Sarah, I also see Lena on the other side.
You do? Okay, Fernie, can you transfer Lena over to the attendees?
Lena has been promoted. FBI Goats, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, thank you. I got disconnected.
All right, you got to promote your people. Yes. So tomorrow's the big day, everybody. Tomorrow's the day when we're all going to be 500-600 of us trying to get in, just to get our 1 minute to tell them we want to shit on their heads on that commission. Yes, we all do. But Goat Puppet got turned around. He had a deal. Oh, tell us about it. USC was going to go to CD8, and Encino was going to get all of the Sepulveda Basin. That's a hell of a deal. No, but the problem is, sir, the map. Look at the map. They fucked us out of it. They took it away from us. Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh, that's right. So that's why Richard Katz is his name, and selling out his fellow Jews is apparently his game. Yes. So we're going to be sure to take everything they've done and flush it down the nearest toilet. And then finally, how do you get your CIS in? Contact the commission directly. Make sure you get it in there so you can complain when you get screwed. And his name, by the way, Rocky, is pronounced Rocky Delga Dipshit. Oh, okay. Rocky Delga Dipshit. Yeah, he was the city attorney, endorsed by Magic Johnson. Look it up, people. Remember that? Remember the Magic Johnson ads? I support Rocky Delgadillo for city attorney. Remember that? Remember the sellout when Magic was selling everybody out on his way to $1 billion? Yes. So all of them are corrupt except Valerie Shaw, great lady. Yes, and Carlos Moreno, former Supreme Court judge and ambassador to Belize, a great man. The rest of them are suspected of being criminals, though. So Goat Puppet moves for a friendly amendment. The FBI investigate the commission and indict everybody on it except Judge Moreno and Valerie Shaw. Oh, I second that. Yes, and remember, when you make a deal with an animal with horns and a tail, don't break the contract. Exactly. And we all know you want to get rid of Gil. Yes. And Gil was bad today, too. He cut Goat Puppet off after 20 seconds of public comment at his housing committee today. Not a good idea, Team Cedillo. Goat Puppet now is watching you, too. And Rocky, and let's take a moment of pause for the great Mark Redley Thomas. 30 years in the business of stealing, filling his pockets, lying and cheating everybody. May his political career rest in peace. I think he should get paid. But after all, when you elect a known criminal like C.D. Den did and pass up that lovely lady he ran against, you get what you pay for. That's what we're gonna do, people. Now, Goat Puppet has to go to Encino Neighborhood Council because we prepared a CIS and we're going to amend it with more graft. And Rosita and Goat Puppet helped them get their CIS in too. But somebody said last night, rot in hell. And I said, I'm already in hell. I live in LA City. Yeah, that's right. Okay, anything else? No, that's about it. You're doing a good job. Fight for your community. Believe in God. And most of all, don't vote for a known FBI target, because I saw that memo back in 2017. They were going to investigate it. I told you. I owe you $10. Yes, you owe me the $10. Now pay it now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Yes. More to come. Go Puppet will return later.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Any more public comment? We have Jabs Frog.
Jabbers.
That was funny. I forgot my comment. What was it? Yeah, just go ahead with the amendments and edits and move forward with the CIS as soon as possible. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jabs. All right, so our amendments. Blah, blah, blah. Our amendments, we desire to be kept whole, correct? And then on our CIS already, we have sort of demands like it should not be appointees. They should not be like, the funds should not be shifted to nonprofits, right? Bernie, can you pull up on the screen the CIS that we already have? Now, also, we could look at the other NC's demands. I have them right here. I will read the other NC's demands. Los Angeles CFSMS. Now this is kind of interesting because I told you already, yeah, like 6 councils have like done this. Who will be able to speak tomorrow. None of them are really part of the city, they're in the valley. So we're gonna be the only valley folk, or the only LA folks city. I mean, whatever, OG thing. What was it called? 20-066, what? Bernie, what's the name on this? 20-066, the CF?
Yeah,
it's at the top here, just scroll. 668, okay, so so we're gonna look at some of the other demands by the other NCs here. So here we go, Booyah, Hashut. So who do we have? So let's look at Doodaloo. First one. Park Mesa Heights. They do not have any demands. Their CIS is kind of weak. Sorry, Park Mesa. West Side Neighborhood Council. Oh, these guys like it. Sorry, they like it. Los Feliz. Here we go. Here are Los Feliz's demands. The Los Feliz Neighborhood Council must be unified under one council district. Griffith Park must remain in the same council district as Los Feliz. Griffith Park has no blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so yeah, kept whole. Chatsworth. Doodaloo. No demands. Our main concerns were that we want our boundaries intact. Where is it? Reseda. Okay, this one's pretty good. The Reseda Neighborhood Council cannot express how strongly enough, how blatantly this commission, like good puppets, is kowtowing to special interest groups and entitled communities at the expense of disadvantaged and marginalized communities. We condemn in the strongest possible terms the actions and lack of actions taken at the October 13th, 2021 meeting of the Redistricting Commission. The blatant classism and racism on display in this meeting would shock even the most cynical conscience. 1, failure to value community-rooted knowledge. I can just read all these. 2, I'll just go down the items and not expound. 2, failure to center equity, compassion, respect, and dignity of communities in decision-making. 3, failure to ensure data utilized captures Los Angeles' communities of interest. 4, failure to respect due process, fairness, and adherence to the law, Brown Act. 5, failure to embrace creative and respectful tension to reach just decisions. And that's it. To reiterate the point, the Redistricting Commission has failed to adhere to its own operating principles, including but not limited to to those 6 that I just mentioned. They don't have any, their demand is to be kept whole. I guess that's it. You want to be kept whole and you want to be, you know, part of the decision-making process. I think that, like, you know, when you look at the council file for this, the first item, but the advisor, the whatever, the legal guy, he says, anyway,
Should we move
he
on?
says that they're giving all this money to the city, they're allocating all this money to outreach. Where was the outreach? That's the whole thing. There was no outreach. There was no outreach. And that's like kind of one of our big things. We want a seat at the table. You have to listen to us because there was no outreach. As you stated that there would be outreach and that people would have a part in the decision making. It didn't exist. So because of that, we can make demands.
We have
Because-
2 board members with their hands up.
All right, so yeah, Fernie, yeah, let's roll. Richard, Area 5 rep.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking about like some demand. You think it's possible to get Dogtown back?
That's a good one. Yep. Well, they're already in they're in our district.
Oh, okay.
Dogtown and Ramona Garden. Well, Ramona Gardens is in CD 14. Dogtown's in CD 12. CD 1.
Or you know, try to get back what they took from last time. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Actually, I think the new map has Dogtown in CD 14 because they're trying to split Chinatown. Because if we look at the objective map, Fernie, you want to pull up the the whole map of it's on my thing that says final map. I think maybe it's on there, but it shows like sort of our areas just around us.
I do encourage we move forward.
They cut Chinatown in half too, so because William Mead was always in CD 1 and now I think it might be in CD 14, which is bad. It's called Final Maps or something. I mean, we can advocate on behalf of others, but for now, we don't have time. We have only tomorrow to speak, so we have to submit this tonight.
Can we move on to the next board member?
Yeah, let's move on to the next board member. So Fernie, can you it's not this map, it's the one that's, if you scroll, it's the map that's like bigger than just our Lincoln Heights. It's called, it's on the same PDF. It's called like, yeah, so that one. Okay, so yeah, that's the new districting map. So CD 14 now has downtown, but it also encroaches. So if you see where it says 0-1, where there's like a square, it goes like a right angle. That's the new chunk they're taking out of Lincoln Heights, all the way to San Fernando Road, Mission or Soto. And then if you go down right there, that little triangle, that is like part of Chinatown and William Mead that they're now taking, I think. So yeah, it's a very bizarre, in my opinion. Victor?
Yeah, I think we exhausted all discussion about this vote. We should call to vote already. And as well, I think we have to vote twice, if I'm not mistaken, one for the amendment and the other one for the original vote, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, Vince isn't on here. Well, yeah, okay.
Gil?
The vote for the thing and then the vote with the amended version. Any other, oh, we have another board member comment. See, we're bouncing back from the public comments. Gil, do you have a comment?
Yes, you brought up a very important item right there. If you think about it, it appears that 1 in 14 are like trading areas, and I don't know what the logic or what the motive behind that is, but it sure looks fishy to me. I don't know.
Thank you, Gil. Yeah, it's about levels, you know, when you zoom in and zoom out, you can't really see all the wreckage until you get up in the air and you take a big view.
I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. Can we move forward to a vote?
Yeah, take the reins, babe.
All right. I'll start with Sarah.
Well, first of all, state the full amendment.
So are we voting twice or is it just the one?
Ben, can you take control?
No, it's fine. Are we voting twice or just once? So I guess this first vote would be to add the amendment onto the CIS, including that we want to be represented as a whole. Second, I believe Richard seconded that already. Can we move forward with the vote?
Ben, Vince dipped out. Ben, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ben, can you advise Fernie on this motion, on the,
Well, you have to state what the amendment is.
okay, so we have to make a decision on the amendment, yeah.
Right, you make the decision on the amendment, and then depending on if it passes or not, then we make the decision on the full motion.
Yes, which was to include the demands of being represented as a whole. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right.
Okay, we will move forward with a vote. Sarah?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Fernanda, yes. Chente? Nancy?
Yes. Yes.
Benny?
Yes.
Didia? Richard Larson? Annalee?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Armida? Victor?
Yes.
Diego?
Yes.
Richard Ortiz?
C.
Steve?
Yes.
Lena?
Yes, yes.
Selena?
Yes.
Diana?
Yeah.
That's 14 yeses, unanimous, motion carries. So now
Sarah, I didn't hear my name called, but I'm a yes. This is
15.
Gil.
Thank you, Gil.
Fernanda, also add me, and this is Vincent. I've been here, but I just wanted my vote recorded as yes.
All right, that's 16 yeses.
All right, motion carries.
Now, the next vote is to approve the entire CIS with the amendment already.
As
in.
amended.
Yes. Is there a second to that motion to approve the CIS with the amendment?
Yeah, we already have a second on that.
All right, then I'll move on to voting. Sarah?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Fernanda, yes. Chente?
Yes.
Got it. Nancy,
Yes.
Benny,
Yes.
Didia, Richard Larson, Annalee,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
Armida, Victor,
Yes.
Diego,
Yes.
Gil,
Yes.
Richard Ortiz,
See.
Steve,
Yes.
Lena,
Yes.
Selena,
Yes.
Diana.
Yeah.
That's 16, motion carries.
Motion carries. Motion carries, 16 yeses. Okay, so then we'll issue this amended CIS tonight. So we will continue on with the agenda. Thank you, everybody. It's a very important thing, and I'm so happy that we're here together. Part of the history. Any public comments? That's one of our last items for that, to put the nightcap on. Attendees, we have 4. Public comments, please raise your hand.
No public comment.
Public comments, okay, and then I guess that's, the next item is adjournment. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right.
Fourth.
So we have a first and a second, let's go for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Are there any opposed? Do you want to stay here forever? No opposed. So motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I really
Thank you, everyone, for your time. I know this was last week.
Bye. Take care. Take care.
Bye. Vince, what's up?
Oh, no, never mind. It's over with. I was just going to say to record the vote if it wasn't ready, but it's cool. It's cool if it passed.
Right, babe.
15 yes.
15 yes. Motion carries. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Steve, you have a cool background.
Background check?
A very seductive background.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm
All right.
wondering what type of film are you